Alright, so in this video I'm just going to discuss the clone stamp a little bit more, just to see if I can hide portions of the shoe bill that are exposed behind my cat here. So in this hybrid, the intention again is to keep the top portion of the cat, the bottom portion of the shoe bill, and when this is all lined up where I want it, I can see that there are random feathers hanging out the edge, and then the top part of the shoe bill is exposed here. In previous videos, I used the clone stamp to hide portions of this. Now I'm just trying to use the tool again with maybe some other tools to hide and clean up these areas around the cat's head. So using the clone stamp in here, I'm going to pull from what is around it as much as I can to try to cover up this area. So I want to kind of take a gathering of what is around it to mask this area. The clone stamp can quickly become repetitive and create this awkward pattern in a way, and you can lose some of the feeling that it's a natural transition or a natural visual of that area by making this pattern. So when I use the clone stamp, I like to rest one finger over Alt or Option just so I can continually make stamps of that surrounding area. And I also like to zoom in and out quite a bit just so I can see what's going on, to see if I'm making a pattern. I can often get lost in focus in getting rid of that area and overlook some of those potential patterns. So I like to negate that by zooming in and out to see what's going on. I've used this before, and I can start to see this circle here, maybe because I stamped a little too much. So I'm going to try to go through and maybe adjust that a little bit first, just so I can see if I can soften up. And I'll step back here because I do want this shoe bill layer to be impacted. So again, the way I use it, clone stamp, all layers. The way I use it, I have to make sure that I have the correct layer selected in order to make the impact that I want. So, a little too much. Control Z is your friend on this as well, as always. Very reliable friend if you use it correctly. Let's see, maybe I can take some of that area, soften that up. Okay, so now I can take some of these darker tones and see if I can get rid of those feathers that are sticking out of this ear of the cat awkwardly. The way I use this, I like to go super soft on opacity, just so I can adjust a little bit slower, and that also helps potentially making this repeated pattern. And also with this design here and this overall view, luckily I have something that's fairly out of focus anyway. It's more natural or organic, so I can pull these different values in and make a pretty sound adjustment. Here we go. And then on the top here, just getting rid of the top of the shoe bill's head. I would much rather see an adjustment like this, where you use the surrounding area to fill in. I often see this idea, well, I have the top of the cat, so I can just cut the entire head off of the other subject, right? Well, when you do that, you're actually creating more work for yourself, because now you have to figure out how to fill that entire area. Whereas if you overlay your second subject here, over the top, you may actually end up doing less work because there's a lot of this that I don't even have to adjust because it's covered up by the cat. Secondly, as I review, just some finishing touches here, I can go in with my eraser and clean this edge up of the cat. I have some random pixels kind of floating around in different places that I want to get rid of. So I can go through with the eraser. This is a hard edge eraser, so it's a little more aggressive as I get rid of some of these smaller areas. So these will be kind of some of your finishing touches, right? You can zoom in to get those little tiny areas cleaned up. Some of this might be actually smoother than what it needs to be, so I'm intentionally kind of dipping down here to make it more offset and not like a perfect cut. I can go through and clean this up real quick. And then again, frequently zooming out. I got some random stuff up here too. Zooming out to see how it looks. Super clean. I have some work to do on the left side a little bit. But overall, just using the clone stamp and then the eraser cleaning up that edge, it's pretty sound. Beyond that, I think I have some lighting adjustments to do, maybe cleaning up the edge. Then I can start working on other things. So anyway, that's another look at the clone stamp and how you can adjust and manipulate that clone stamp to work to your advantage when you're trying to almost hide or merge in the background over the top of a pre-existing image, in this case that shoe bill. So that is another look and a few tips and tricks along the way with the clone stamp tool and the eraser just to clean up an edge.